Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at 43 Division. I'm Constable Carolyn DeClute, and I am one of the Media Relations Officers for the Toronto Police Service. Today I'm introducing Toronto Police Acting Superintendent Ryan Ford. He will be providing an update on the results of Project Community and Project Springboard.
Thank you, Carolyn. Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Ford, the Acting Superintendent here at 43 Division. Joining me will be an Acting Detective Sergeant Jeremy Hayes to give you guys a brief update on two important projects addressing gun violence in our communities. These proactive initiatives have led to a combined 48 arrests, 406 charges. We also seized 24 firearms and recovered 3 stolen vehicles. I invite Detective Hayes to come up and tell us a little bit more about Project Community and Project Springboard.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. At the beginning of 2024, we started to see incidents of gun violence trending upwards within 43 Division. As a result, we initiated Project Community. This is a collaboration led by our Major Crime Unit, our Neighborhood Community Office, and our newly formed Bail Compliance Unit. With 18 arrests made, 109 charges laid, and 6 firearms seized, along with the 3 stolen vehicles that we recovered, we considered this project to be a great success. However, despite this success, 43 Division was still tracking to be with the highest number of firearm offenses in the city. By April 27th, we had experienced 17 firearm discharges within 43 Division, and we realized that there was still much more work to be done. Building on the success of Project Community, we initiated Project Springboard with a focus on promoting community safety, disrupting gang violence, and getting illegal firearms and drugs off the streets of Scarborough. Officers from various units across the division were assigned to Project Springboard from April to June of 2024, and we worked closely with our Integrated Guns and Gangs Task Force, including the centralized shooting response teams. The results of Project Springboard were very positive. With 30 more arrests made, we laid 297 criminal charges, and we seized another 18 firearms off the streets. In total, there are 48 persons arrested, and 11 of them were young offenders. As well, 11 of those 48 people were already bound to firearm prohibition orders stemming from prior convictions that they had on their record. I'm pleased to report that since the seizure, we've noticed a marked decrease in gun violence. In fact, we've only experienced 1 firearm discharge in the month of July and only 1 in the month of August. You'll find a list of charges on our news release, along with a short video with some examples of this investigative work. We've also provided a link to images and B-roll footage for you. And I'll now hand it back over to Acting Superintendent Ford.
Thank you, Detective. This criminal activity greatly impacts our community, and addressing and disrupting gun crime remains a top priority of our division and our service. We know there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and we remain committed to ensuring community safety for the residents of 43 Division. Addressing firearms-related offenses goes beyond just focusing on guns. It requires a collective effort. We all have a role in ensuring community and public safety by working together, engaging with our communities, and taking on that shared responsibility. We can create a safer environment for everyone. We are confident these successful outcomes will continue. I'd like to thank the members here at 43 Division, those from across the service, along with the Toronto City Council members, the Toronto District School Board, Toronto Community Housing, and our community members who all contribute to these successful projects. And I'll take a few questions with the detective.
When it comes to the arrests, we've been hearing a lot of announcements over the past week, and certain police officers in other jurisdictions have talked to the number of people who were arrested who were already out on bail. Do you know by any chance how many people who were arrested in these 2 projects were any already out on bail?
Yes, I do have those numbers for you. Of the 48 arrests made, 16 of the arrested parties were already out on bail at the time of their arrest.
Do we know what kind of charges they were facing?
I don't have the details of their outstanding charges. Some of them would have been from outside services, and I don't have that information.
The
The origin of these firearms, I don't have that information for you. I can say with confidence that of these parties that we arrested with the firearms, they were not legal firearm holders. They weren't licensed to possess them. Some of the serial numbers had been defaced and removed from the guns, so they were clearly illegal firearms. At the divisional level, that isn't something that I would speak to. I would probably refer you to our firearms enforcement unit. They handle more of the in-depth investigations regarding the origin of these firearms. I am aware that at times we have seized firearms that did originate in the States. Of the ones that we've seized, I don't have those specific details though.
I would say that most firearms, how they get here is shocking, but the fact that we have got this many totaled in the past 4 months is what's really shocking. The origin of them and how they get here, there's other units that look at that holistically. Right here in the divisional evidence, the detective was saying, we're just trying to get as much guns off the street as possible, and the community's been coming forward with us and working collaboratively together, so that's a good outcome.
Can you speak to how gun crimes, if they have increased, I understand since these projects are going to mention decreased but with larger urban city, do we know how gun crimes are going up?
Well, I can tell you, year to date, there's 307 firearms discharges. It's up 44% right now. Most of the shootings, firearm discharges, there's no injuries reported. There have been 29 shooting deaths so far in 2024 compared to 16 at this time last year.
What needs to be done when suspects are caught from the police process and are on bail, and there are some folks that are on bail, how should we know what needs to be done on both sides?
I can probably speak to that. Our investigators attend every bail hearing. When there is an arrest made and a firearm recovered, we strongly advocate for detention orders to hold these armed persons in custody once they're arrested. As you're well aware, they do receive bail after a certain amount of time. However, there are certain strategies that we have to hold these people on bail accountable. We mentioned our newly created bail compliance unit. We have officers that are out every single day checking on these parties that are on bail, enforcing their house arrests, their curfew, meeting with their sureties, ensuring that they're following the rules of the home, and we're laying additional charges if there are breaches made. There is new technology being used with GPS monitoring. We are in constant contact with the company that provides those services. If a party has been prohibited from attending a specific area, if their GPS monitor does ping in that area, they call us immediately and we're quick to respond. Yeah, we work with the youth in the division daily. We have a fantastic neighborhood community office. They're embedded in these designated neighborhoods, working solely with at-risk youth. There's a plethora of programs and services and supports that we offer. In fact, last week they had dozens of kids up camping. We're trying to build those relationships with them. Education plays a big part in it. Teaching them the consequences, any alternates to a life of crime, and displaying that they do have opportunities in life that doesn't involve criminality. By earning their trust and building those relationships, our goal is to prevent these offenses from happening to begin with. If we can keep them out of any drug activity, any gun activity, then that's just going to continue to improve the community safety within 43 Division. I find that by putting the right people in the right positions, our success has gone through the roof. our major crime unit detectives, Detective Graham Ellis and Detective Mark Tan, their teams work hard. They put in long hours, they work late nights, they get called in on their days off quite often. We have been engaging our internal partners and trying to get as many resources pooled together with a shared goal. So we're very... We have shuffled around our resources and our officers here creating the bail compliance unit. Whenever we do take a uniform officer away from a platoon, we're striving to improve our response time, so it's that fine balance of promoting community safety, but also having resources available to respond to radio calls from the public. We have officers 7 days a week with the bail compliance unit, and that alone has resulted in a significant number of arrests, which is ultimately going to improve our community safety. We pride ourselves on the partnerships that we have with our external partners. Every week we're meeting face-to-face with the Toronto Community Housing Community Safety teams, the special constables from the University of Toronto, from Metrolinx. Even our city councillors are here almost weekly. Deputy Mayor McKelvey, she has a fantastic relationship with our officers here. They're receiving complaints from their constituents and the community, and it's a seamless flow of information from them to us at 43 Division. It's like we have our ear to the ground, and we're able to act on their concerns quickly.
We'll take one more question.
Is this just a 43 division kind of re-examining kind of approach, or is this something that's widespread across the
I believe we were the first to implement the newly formed bail compliance unit. I believe other divisions are following our lead. Project Community and Project Springboard are specific 43 Division initiatives focused on improving community safety within 43 Division. I hope that other divisions take the same approach because we've had a great success.
That concludes today's conference. Thank you for joining us here at 43 Division. We do have a news release that, if it hasn't been published yet, it will be published shortly with additional information. Thank you very much.